What's happening, folks? So we're about to cut up some more of that big walnut tree, the same one that broke my trailer, same one that caused us to go get that mama to get it off of the trailer. So let me take you through here. We got some signs being cut over there. That's what all that noise is. I literally have 2 days to get all this cleaned out. The big laser cutter is gonna be here anytime. I think right now it's like in North Carolina, South Carolina. So anyway, here we are with the old MechMaxx. Just had a couple days off. So I took some slabs off of this. I tried to manually roll that sucker over, and it just fell right in the ground. So we had to use the skid steer today. Pick this up, put it back on there. Wish I would have recorded it, but I did not. So I'm going to set this up here. Hopefully we can fire this bad boy up. Get some slabs off here before my handy dandy iPhone decides to shut off again, because it updated and now it seems to overheat every 30 seconds and shut down. I'm hoping this log is back far enough to be able to cut all the way through this down at that end, but I'll know here in just a second. The good thing about this machine is it fires right up most of the time. I don't know what I'd do if it didn't have an electric start. Turning on some water. Get a little bit of lubrication flowing here. Okay, that's probably a bit much. So we're going to go ahead and take the top off of this for now. Probably should have went quite a bit lower than I did. I mean, even right there at the top, it's got nice color to it. But I'm going to go ahead and back this sucker up. I'm going to drop this down a little bit lower. I'm going to open this all the way up, otherwise it's not going to clear the end of the tree. Say we drop down about an inch and a quarter. See what we got going on here. Okay, just so you know, the reason I'm going through this as slow as I am, because when the guide is completely open, this thing has a bad habit of dipping, and I'm trying to keep this as straight as possible. So most people would throw this away. There's not a whole lot of color, but there is color. I, on the other hand, will not be throwing that away because it will make a great sign. And that is one of the biggest differences between what I do and what a lot of your sawmill people post on the internet, is they're cutting lumber to sell. And if I sell some, that is great, but my main goal is to have lumber for signs. Now, with that said, I'm going to have to make some adjustments here real quick, and hopefully I do not have to shut the camera down or go get the skid steer. But as I was afraid of, because I have a short sawmill here, very careful with what I say with words, because I don't want it to become a joke, like if I said I got a short machine or such. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can't slide the whole thing down here toward the head. It needs to move probably about 6 inches, but I do have some log hooks or cant hooks, or whatever you want to call them. But for this, I will tell you, this dang joist ripper here for working on decks, man, this thing works awesome for moving these logs most of the time. Now, with that said, I don't know how awesome it's going to be for this one, because this sucker is beyond heavy, and I mean beyond heavy. So I'm going to try to get it off of the stops here a little bit. And then see if yeah, the weight of it down here is hitting that brace by probably 1/16 of an inch. It's not much, but it damn sure is keeping it from going all the way. I did just get probably about 3 inches of movement. And the other thing with this log here, I got to be very careful on, is because this log was cut to fit perfectly between the opening of the guide on here. So if it's out of place just a little bit, this is not going to work. But at the same time, it might be a lot faster just to trim this down a little bit. I'm going to stop this for a moment while I go get some tools. Okay, so off camera, here's my handy dandy broken Ryobi electric chainsaw, and went ahead and took about an inch off of this side, about 3/4 of an inch off that side, just to give me a little bit more space to work with getting this over this, because this is a 32-inch saw and this was cut down to 31.5 inches beforehand, so there was not much room to work with. So I think I have my width good now. Again, I am just about to put my wooden stops in. And then I'll shove this back into place. I'm going to take a quick pass down through here with the saw, just to make sure everything's looking good and isn't going to hit. And then we will get back to cutting these slabs. I am probably going to end up hauling these over to another guy's place and having him kiln dry at least some of them. And that way I can get right into using these for signs. I have offered some of these 8-foot slabs for sale. Pretty cheap too, $100. But I'm not going to sweat if they don't sell, because like I said, I'll use it for signs. Even at the full 8 foot, I can use them as signs. I would want them a little bit thinner than I currently have those, because most of those are around 1.5 inches, and I prefer, when using them on signs, to have them a little bit thinner than that. So this one here, I'm going to go 1 1/8 inches just to see how it looks. So let's fire this beast back up again. As you can see, I hardly ever have problems with the machine. Most of my problems come from human error and the fact that I'm just learning how to do this. know, I said about that whole human error thing. I didn't put the hooks on and the whole log slid. Now I got to move it just a hair so I can finish going through this. Learning mistake number 5,611. See, that is one thing I've never been afraid of, is to admit when I screwed up, and I just screwed up. And I'm gonna put my hooks in this time to hopefully not have that problem again. Part of it is being new to the whole machine. Part of it's the making of the video. Part of it's just trying to get done before the storm hits. But one of the biggest parts is I'm new. I will make a lot of mistakes. And hopefully learn from them. So let's try to drop down. Let's go down I don't know why this thing is not releasing all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't even know how far I just dropped down. I'm gonna say this is probably gonna be about 1.5 inch slab here. I'm going to get my scraper over here, clean this off a little bit, maybe show you guys what I'm into with this. I don't want to spray water on this, which I guess it doesn't matter because it's fixing to rain anyway. But the color in this is pretty damn nice. Look at that. And then, of course, those pieces there, they're off the same log. Those were cut off a couple of days ago. And those did get rinsed off at one point. Now I know some of you may not agree with these things sitting like this, but the method to what I'm doing again is these things, if I don't sell any of them within the next day or two, these will all be cut up into 2 and 3 foot sections and turned into signs. It's just what it is, and as I said, I don't mind selling some, and I've offered them to sell at $100 a piece, which is a very good deal, as you know. But if they don't sell, I cannot hold on to them in hopes that they do sell down the road, because again, I can use them for signs. So let me back you up here. We're gonna watch it from this angle for a moment. If you bear with me to the end of this, I might go ahead and wet these down just so you could see it. This one here is going to be 1 inch. Let's do it. So what you don't see on the camera is this side of the saw blade literally has about 1/4 of an inch before hitting the guide. The other side is pressed right up against it. So even after removing pretty good portions from what I started with, we still have contact. Whew. That is some gorgeous wood. I may get one or two more off of here, and then I think I'm gonna wet that down just so you can see it. You've been good sports if you've watched the video this long. Like I said, I'm learning more and more about this every day. So let's go down to do 1.25 inches on this. I do not think I'm going through this time. It's just too far over this time. So I do not think I can pass it. I believe I'm at the absolute widest part of this log now. Give me just a second. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to have to make some changes with my chainsaw so that I can successfully cut that. Be right back. Okay, so here we go again. I got the Ryobi electric all adjusted up here. I'm going to try to take a little bit off of the edge here and just a little bit over here again. There's really no other way around this. I was really hoping to avoid cutting any more off that side, because where that branch came out over there, there's actually spalding in the walnut, even though this thing was still standing and alive. It just didn't have a top on it for years. It was just the main part of the tree. Alright, so not the prettiest cut in the world, but it's done. So let's get this finished up. I'm now a few inches skinnier than it was when I started. This one's got some weight to it. Holy cow. Talk about some gorgeous wood. That is pretty damn impressive. Let me get my water hose. And we are going to see what this looks like. Do what?
I asked what happened to the grass. Why is it dead?
That's just where he left it.
Can you drive back over here?
Sure.
Is the keys in it?
Okay. Let's make some magic happen here. Ready to see the color? Look at that. I mean, that is crazy, crazy. Just imagine what you could make out of that. So let's end this right here. Tomorrow we'll finish cutting this up. I was hoping to have this done today, but obviously that ain't gonna happen. But let's look right here. Look at that. And if you're in the Seymour, Tennessee area, while I have this, like I said, $100 a slab. There's no discounts for quantity or anything, because I'm just going to cut it up and use it as a sign. Anything that's left. But I do have some really nice cedar for resin table type stuff. I got this spalded oak that is just ate up with termites and stuff, which is gorgeous wood. I can't use that for anything, but we've had quite a bit of that sold for table makers, and that is all slabs of cherry. I got to get this stuff out of here because I got a whole driveway that's stacked up with sassafras logs I want to get cut into. But the old MechMaxx 32 done a great job tonight. As I said, all the problems were my fault. All user error and beginner learning. Y'all have a good night.